Ranch Simulator was just released into early access, and if you're interested in this game, you might want to know if you should buy it now or wait for the full release. Well, you should definitely wait. This game is so unfinished and needs a ton of work to even get anywhere like a sensible game. In fact, I'd almost say it's too early to be called early access. Yes, it really needs that much work doing to it. And it's sad to say that the very best bits about the game are those bits that are currently broken. Hi folks, it's Mark here once again, bringing you my thoughts on Ranch Simulator, and if you find this video useful, then please do consider subscribing. The game starts in the same vein as Stardew Valley, where you inherit a beaten up and broken down old ranch from your grandfather. The idea, of course, being to make money by raising animals and selling goods, to build up the ranch, to make more money, to get more animals, to buy more vehicles, to raise more animals. Yeah, it's a sandbox game that allows you to build in some very limited ways, which we'll talk about later. The map's actually quite small, there's not a lot of interaction with anything, but this is in early access, and I seriously hope that the game doesn't look and work and play like this when it's fully released. I do hope the developers have a lot of work in mind for this. You can play in either first or third person view, and the game does support multiplayer co-op as well, with up to 3 other friends joining you, which is actually the best part of it. Content at the moment is very limited indeed. The tutorial's quite short, teaching you how to put some wheels on a car in the garage so you can drive around, knock your house down and build a new one, power up the sawmill, and buy a couple of chickens and put them in a coop. And after that, you're on your own, son. It's just you doing whatever you want, and there isn't a whole lot of stuff to do. The building isn't freeform in this. There's various building plots around the ranch. You just click on one, choose the model of building you want to go on there, and if you've got the cash, it appears. So you can't just customize the ranch and build a barn over there and a chicken coop over there and do it as you see fit. You don't even get to place the walls and doors of the buildings. You just choose the blueprint that you want and choose one of the very limited slots that it can go in, and it appears if you pay the cash. At the moment, there's not a lot of content to make money. You can raise chickens and sell eggs. You can raise pigs for meat and milk cows. And you can go hunting wolves, deer and bear in the woods to sell the meat. Yes, you sell the meat, not the fur off those things. I don't know if there's a big market for bear and wolf meat in North America. Hey, maybe there is. I'll be careful what I order at the restaurants next time I go. Although it does look like there's a lot of features that haven't been put in the game yet, so we'll have to watch this as it goes through the early access and development period. Graphics are, as you can see, fairly basic, but we are in early access. The animations look at least reasonably smooth, and performance, well, I didn't have any trouble with performance at all on this. I wouldn't really expect to. There's not an awful lot of sound effects in the game. There is some pretty nice classical music and other tunes that play on the various radios in car or in the house, but other than that, there's nothing remarkable here at all. Again, not a problem. This is early access. Let's see what they do. Okay, let's talk about the things that I like and the things that I think need a ton more work or that I currently dislike. We'll start with the good stuff. It's multiplayer. I played this with 3 of my buddies, and I do want to say a thanks to the developer for this, because not only did they send me a code for the game to try it out, they also sent me 3 more so we could try out the multiplayer. And it is the game's saving grace, because without the multiplayer, I don't think this would be even worth looking at all. Now, at the moment, the multiplayer side can be very silly, where you can shoot each other and you can muck around, you can drive around with your mate standing on the roof of the car because there isn't room in the vehicles for all of you to get in. So that's a required thing, and it's just silly, and it leads to lots of silly situations. And unfortunately, these are the only good things I have to say about the game at the moment. But I'm going to show you now some of the fun clips that I had playing with my buddies before we get into the bad stuff.
In a golf cart?
Yeah, it's sort of.
Hello. I deserve it.
Welcome to the team. What the hell? How did you get a green character?
Do we take fall damage?
No. I just... No, see? One...
That was some delayed fall damage there, Tom.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because you all just shooting at me.
I was actually just stood in the back. Whoa!
Made it.
I mean, it worked. Almost gravity defying with that landing.
Well, I think we found the quarry.
How do we get out of here?
I'm assuming we just power it up the sides.
I mean,
I think we seem to get some sort of warp speed factor going up that hill there.
I'm stuck in a tree.
I am stuck between two trees. Hang on. That's okay. We've got a hover car here. There must be a camera angle where I can shoot myself in the foot. I can get close. I can't. I can shoot myself in the foot. It's in first person. You can shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
I heard that, but you can shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I just saw it. What are you doing with that chicken? It's not going to produce an egg if you just hold it over a pile of wheat. Hang on. What's... Whoa.
Good suspension, though.
Can we shoot the rooster? We better not try. They're
Don't
expensive.
shoot the rooster. He's a good boy.
It's a $250 rooster. If you want to shoot it, you.
It's a very expensive. Oh my god! Do you see the legs of the rooster? How to break an invisible? Oh, yeah. You need to push that thing probably.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how modern cow herding techniques are actually practiced today.
Don't drive too fast. I can't keep up with it. How do we get out of there again?
I think the cow's taking Aimless back to the ranch.
What if you jump on top of the
Yeah, I'm trying to.
buggy and then...
There we go.
Now we've got it.
Don't go too fast, I can't keep up.
Do it.
Forwards.
Leash it.
Oh god!
Oh,
Actually, Mark, if I get on...
Yeah, jump on, jump on.
I've broken the thing.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's all right.
Go for it. Cow's not moving.
So, hang on. Right. Someone needs to run ahead, open the barn gate so TC can drive at full speed in through the front gate, slam the brakes on and watch the cow go shooting off the front of the car.
Going for it.
I mean, you know a game needs some work when the only enjoyable bits of it are the bits that are broken and the bugs. Because if it wasn't for those, I don't think we would have enjoyed this game at all. And the trouble is that these are presumably all going to get fixed at some stage of development, which means that they're going to take out the most enjoyable and fun parts of the game, leaving us with what exactly? Okay, we managed to have a load of fun in multiplayer, but let's really look at the game and look at the things that I either didn't like or need a ton of work to get ready. And yes, I know this is an early access. Okay, so the game is just far too devoid of features and content at the moment. You've got the family ranch with its very limited building slots. You've got a gas station. And by the way, the vehicles and generators in this are real gas guzzlers. You'll spend a lot of time filling up. You've got a general store. There's also a hardware store in there, which is completely empty. Oh, there is a car garage as well with a couple of models of vehicle that you can buy and some very basic custom jobs you can do in the paint shop. And then there's another building with a sniper rifle, looks like a hunting lodge, which you can't go in. There's a mansion that's walled off, which you can jump over the fence, but then can never jump out of again. And there's loads of stuff that you just can't do and interact with at all. I mean, clearly this is all designed to be put into the game. I just think it's a little bit early to be selling this into early access when there's just nothing to do with the vast majority of the game. And the place you'll visit the most, the general store, I seriously hope this isn't going to be how it works when you come to actually play the finished game of this. There's someone sat behind the desk, but you don't interact with them. Anything you want to sell, you just throw in a corner of the shop. There's a big tile marked off. That's your selling shit tile. And then you go to a little vendor machine in the other part of the shop and you click the sell button and it all disappears. And then you choose what you want from the vendor machine and it magically appears back on the tile. I get that this might be a placeholder feature. Please, developers, don't make that the way the game works at the end because it looks and feels terrible. Also, for a sandbox building game, the building mechanics are currently awful, really. I mean, outside the family ranch, you've got 3 building slots where currently you can only put chicken coops in. That's the only options. But these are fixed positions and you just go up to them and you choose the blueprint you want and it just takes the cash and it appears. You don't actually build anything. The only building we've done so far was to build the family house. We had to activate the sawmill as part of the ranch, carry the planks up, which was a pain in the arse to get them up to the building, and then you basically put them on, but you don't design the building. Again, you buy a blueprint, the framework appears, and you just fill it full of planks until the whole thing's up. I do hope they flesh this out. I would love to be able to custom build houses and sheds and barns and things in the game. But there's not enough building slots for one thing. More need to be added in. And really, in this sort of game, you want to be able to free build, right? You want to be able to put the shed in places wherever you want and design the layout of your own ranch. That's the whole fun in the sandbox building farming game, yeah? But currently that's not available. Now, at the moment, the economy doesn't seem all that great, and it doesn't seem all that profitable raising chickens, selling the eggs, because you have to feed the damn things, and the chicken feed isn't free. And ideally, you want to be driving to the general store to buy and sell stuff, and that uses a lot of juice, and that gets expensive as well. So by far and away, the most profitable thing is just to go hunting out in the woods, shooting deer, wolves, and bear. You do get given a 6-shooter to start off with, and you go and shoot stuff, and as soon as you shoot stuff, it disappears into a pile of meat. You don't actually get any skins or pelts from these things, and then you take that and you sell it. Because it doesn't cost you anything to buy apart from the ammunition, it seems to be more profitable, but there's not enough animals in the game to go and shoot and hunt anyway, and it kind of makes a mockery of the whole ranching bit, because wandering around the woods killing stuff seems to be easier money than actually raising animals and the rest, and surely that shouldn't be the case. But again, they can tweak the economy as they go, I hope. And one of the big problems from hunting as well, in fact, from anything, is trying to put stuff in the back of your vehicles or on the roof of your vehicles. That is an absolutely bloody nightmare, because you can't actually position things without standing on top of the vehicle. The way you put stuff is, if you click on, say, a piece of meat or a fuel can or something, and you pick it up, and then you have to stand near the vehicle and then try and position it in a free space, either in the back of the truck or on the roof of the truck. The roof being the problem, that you have to stand almost on the roof of the truck to put something down on the roof of the truck. But it's like playing meat Tetris when you're trying to get all the meat in from a hunting expedition or from killing the pigs back at the ranch. You can't pile stuff up. Oh, you don't get an inventory in this game. No. You don't get bags and boxes and crates to put things in. You pick things up one at a time and then play meat Tetris to see how much meat you can fit in the back of your truck before going to the general store. And if you do try and pile it up on the seat or on the top or anything, as soon as you drive off, it just flies out the back. It's not good, and things should at least stack to some extent, or you have a bag where you can hold, I don't know, so many pieces, and you position that in the back of the truck. But this is currently a really bad and unsatisfying mechanic. I also noticed that the map and the on-screen compass don't line up, and this will throw you until you figure it out in the game. But south isn't on the bottom end of the map screen. I think it's on the left. And then you have an on-screen compass. So you're looking on the map and you think, okay, the guy is up the screen of me, that must be north. No, it doesn't work like that. And we were a couple of hours into the game until one of my friends pointed this out, that they'd figured it out. And then it got a bit easier to move around. But that is such a ridiculous basic thing. Just put south at the bottom of the map screen and make life easier for everyone. At least the compass, when you're working, it does seem to work. But then when you look on the map, you have to rotate your head through 90 degrees to figure out which direction you need to go before you go back into third-person view to watch the compass and get there. The physics are also slightly broken at the moment. Obviously, that can be worked upon, we would hope. But they do lead to some rather ridiculous instances. So they've actually provided most of the fun and entertainment in the game so far. And there are some serious bugs in there too, like the falling through the world bug. There's going to be holes in the map. You're going to find them. Hopefully they'll all be fixed and all patched, but when you fall through the map and if you're in a vehicle at the time, you don't always get the vehicle back afterwards. That turns into an expensive mistake, because earning money is so much of a chore that to lose a big chunk of it in a vehicle, well, yeah, that kind of hurts. So my overall thoughts are that this game needs so much work, it's unbelievable, and you really shouldn't be buying into it now. You need to wait and see if they're going to work on these problems I've highlighted, and how long that's going to take, and whether you're going to get a finished product at the end of it. Because the problem is at the moment that if it wasn't for the multiplayer aspect of this, and the silliness you get around with multiplayer, like shooting each other in the face and on the foot and driving into each other and all that, this game, for me, wouldn't have been worth looking at and playing. If I was playing this single player and had to go through all that nonsense with the way we had to build stuff and place meat in the back of the truck and all the rest, I wouldn't touch it. The only thing that made it fun was the bugs and the silliness of multiplayer. So if they can fix some of the mechanics, it might be fun when it's finished, But seriously, folks, you want to wait and see how this turns out, and I would hold off investing your cash into it at the moment.